Welcome everyone. Today we will be talking about basic math operators and then basic math functions in Excel. Okay, so I have here a table that we can do our exercise. So let's start. So addition, always start your calculation function or formula with an equal sign. And then let's select the first value and then hit on plus on your keyboard and then the second value. We got 8. So to validate that, you can look at the bottom of your Excel and then there's the sum of it. Let's do it again. First value plus second value. So if you don't want to retype the same formula, you can just copy it. Here's one thing to copy the formula. Drag this part of the cell and then drag it down. There you go. Okay, let's move on to subtraction. Equals first value, the minus sign, and then second value. And then we can copy it by controlling C or control C, and then pasting it on the two cells that we have remaining. So it automatically populates the reference according to the cell from this formula. So we move down, so the cell moved down as well. Next is division, equal sign, first value, and then forward slash, then second value. Okay, let's drag it down. And lastly, multiplication. Let's do an equal sign, first value, and then asterisk, and then second value. Okay, so in the reference here, we have A8 and B8. So if we move it down, it will automatically get A9, B9, A10, B10. So if we fix this reference by pressing F4, $sign on the column letter, and then $sign on the row number, and let's see what will happen. First cell, nothing happens because the reference is A8 and AB. Multiplication is 15. If we copy it down, it didn't multiply the next cells or next values because we fixed the reference. So there's some formulas that needs cell reference fixed and there's some not. So you better identify that to get a right calculation. All right, so we're done with the basic math operators. Let's go down to basic math functions. Okay, so I have a table here of values and then the functions that we'll be doing an exercise with. Okay, sum, so same thing. Sum adds all numbers in a range of cell. So when you say range, yeah, let me do that for you. So sum, okay, that's equals sum. Okay, so there's the function. Press tab to autocomplete, and then range. So when you say range, it's a group of numbers depending on the first value up to the end of that value that you want to do a sum an addition with. So press the first value, drag it down to the last value, and then close. There you go. 67. If you want to validate, we have it here. So 67. So we're doing the right addition on this group. So let's copy there. Okay, product. So product multiplies all the numbers given. So it's the same thing as sum. It's just that it's product. It's gonna multiply the values that we specify in the range. So specify the range and then close. There you go. Let's do it again. Product, tab, specify the range and then close. And last column, let's copy it. Okay, average. Average returns the numeric average of a range. So average, so it will get the average of it. So average is the sum of the values on the column divided by the number of values in the column or in the range, sorry. So here is the sum of these values and then divide by the count of those values, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we got 13, validate 13. Let's do that again. Average, tab, highlight the range, close. So average is important, especially if you want to, get the average expenses that you have in a day. Count. So count says here, counts the numeric value in a range. So I mentioned it a bit earlier in the average function. So I can show it to you here. So count, tab, and then numeric values. So we should get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we have 5 values in this range, so we should get 5. Yep, we got a 5. Let's do it here on the second column, close there. So let's do it here lastly. Okay, so what if we have no value here? So it will just count 4, and then the other formula um, changed as well because the reference changed too. Okay, so how about a letter? So it becomes 4 as well because numeric values is only being counted by this function count. So next is round. So rounds a number to a specific digit. So we can get a value with a decimal point, which is the product, and then we can use round on it so that we can specify a decimal digit decreased. So round. So here's the guide for the formula. So number. Click on the number, comma, to separate to separate the formula, and then number 2 because that's what we like to see on the decimal point. There you go. So one tip is always follow the guide of the formula or of the function. Once you practice to follow the guide on the functions, it will be more easier to memorize or to practice with. Okay, and last here, so we got it rounded. Okay, so we did the basic math operators by using math operators, plus, subtraction, division, and multiplication, and the functions that we have in Excel to calculate basic math. Okay, so I hope you learned something. See you in the next video. Thank you.